Previously in part 2. And so we set another trap, refusing to be victims. The idea was to bait any girl into drugging and robbing our potential victim. Their true nature when you're not around in the apartment. When you leave them for like 10-20 minutes, what do they get up to? Are they gonna try and rob you? Do they look around? Especially with money laying on the table, are they gonna call their friends? I just wanted to see their true nature. Having a good time, they're dancing. But obviously they use the opportunity also to spike my drink. Left alone, the girls are dancing, and within just 2 minutes of our guy departing, Andrea on the right makes her way towards the door, possibly to check that no one is looking. Catalina on the left, with her back turned to the camera, is doing something very suspicious on the table. She looks to the right, just to ensure that the coast is clear. It's a very rapid movement, and if it was just this one camera, you wouldn't even know what had just occurred. But then when you look at it from a different angle, it is very clear what Katerina is doing. And she is not making a margarita cocktail. She is making a cocktail of a different sort, one that can turn you into a zombie. She then shakes the cup to ensure that whatever she's put in there mixes in very well with the drink. So right here you can see where they actually, if you zoom in, I'm going to try and zoom in. If you look here, you'll see where they actually, do take that opportunity and do drug me. They do put something in my drink. So, this is exactly what happens when you leave the room, and it literally takes a split second. And so the girls continue dancing as if nothing has happened. But this is where things get a little bit more interesting. And this is the point where they get a little bit more brazen. Katerina walks out of the room to explore the living area, while Andrea plays with the cash on the table. It appears as though she is stuffing some cash into her bra. But upon a second review, I can confirm this is negative. Katerina returns back into the room. She's now on a mission as she shuts the door. She wants to make acquaintances and become best friends with our guy's belongings as she opens the wardrobe. They both look inside, searching for any valuables. They look through the pouch. Andrea is nervous. She tells Katerina that someone may be approaching. Katerina remains unfazed as Andrea remains on a lookout. Feeling satisfied with the contents of the bag, they probably think to themselves, we're gonna steal this when we're ready. Andrea does some additional rummaging. She almost catches one of our secret cameras, but she probably thought it was nothing. And so, feeling content, they continue with their party, waiting for our guy to return to the apartment so they can offer him a drink. My guys, in the other apartment, who are watching the monitors, they notified me and told me, hey, when you get back to the apartment, when you get back into the room, don't drink anything. They told me, don't drink anything. And that's exactly what I did. The girls are now feeling restless because it's been 15 minutes since our guy left them alone solo in the apartment. Filled with boredom, they try to find a way to entertain themselves. Katerina is most active, and very quickly she starts singing her favorite reggaeton songs. She shakes the drink belonging to her guy one more time just to make sure.
Comiéndote esa cherry. Baby, que tú tienes que me tienes viciado. Te quiero sin ropa en mi casa en el poblado. Uno tenis Valentino, panty boquino. What the fuck?
20 minutes have passed and the girls have entertained themselves by listening to all kinds of music. They're dancing, they're looking around, they're having a good time. They're plotting, they're scheming, they're bored, whatever. So the reason why I left the apartment is, again, I just wanted to see how these girls are, their true nature when you're not around in the apartment. When you leave them for like 10-20 minutes, what do they get up to? Are they gonna try and rob you? Do they look around? Especially with money laying on the table, are they gonna call their friends? I just wanted to see their true nature. They're having a good time, they're dancing, but obviously they use the opportunity also to spike my drink. At that point, we'd advised our guy to return to the apartment, advising him that they'd put something into his drink and he should be very careful. After 20 minutes, he returns back to the apartment, pretending to be happy to see the girls dancing to electronic music. Katerina is very quick to offer him a drink, and in English she says drink. Our guy pretends to take a sip of the drink, contemplating his next move. He's very careful to actually not make a mistake and to drink what's in his cup, the poison which they have prepared. They ask him where he has been. They persuade him to do a little bit more dancing, probably to get him in the mood, and then suggested him to have his drink once more again. They make another toast, but our guy still doesn't drink. Tired of playing the fool, our guy switches off the music and decides to confront the girls.
Mira, yo sabe muchas cosas. Yo sabe muchas cosas. Si esto tienes algo.
No, no.
The girls deny spiking the drink vehemently and even suggest to continue drinking.
No, no tiene nada, tomemos.
Ok, toma esto.
Toma. No. ¿Qué? Él quiere que hagamos que vamos a tomar. Sí, no tiene nada.
Sí.
Okay. No tiene nada.
Sí. Tú toma esto.
Sí, claro.
No, toma bien.
Rico, sí.
No, toma bien. Toma.
Rico.
Toma.
Sí.
At this point, it is very clear that the girls are not drinking from the glass, but rather pressing their lips against it.
Sí, okay, claro, okay.
At this time, I'm now having fun with them. I'm trying to get them, hey, why don't you have this cup? Why don't you have this drink? Why don't you have my drink instead? And, they actually quite playfully, say, okay, let's swap drinks. And so you can see that they actually both drink it, but they don't drink it. What you can't see on the camera is that they don't drink it. They pretend to drink it. They kind of, press their lips around the glass and pretend to drink it. They didn't drink it. And the whole purpose of doing all of that stuff is for me to feel comfortable. They're pretending, because I'm playing with them. I'm like, hey, I think that possibly, you may have spiked my drink. Why don't you have my drink instead? So they're like, okay, fine. So they take my drink, right? They take my drink and they pretend to drink it, which they didn't, you know, because I was looking very closely at them to see if they were going to swallow it, but they didn't swallow. And so this was a good litmus test. If you do leave the room and you're suspicious about what has happened to your drink, you can always offer it to the girl and see how she reacts to it. In this case, they obviously didn't want to have his drink.
¿Ponemos la música?
No, pero ¿por qué tú no quieres tomar esto?
Claro, pero sí, ya, listo. No quiero emborrachar.
And so at this point, it had become very clear that the girls had put something in our guy's drink which was detrimental to his health. Yeah, so I made my excuses and I got the girls to leave. So I told them I wasn't feeling too good, you know, that I wanted to get some rest. And so our guy makes his excuses and he informs the girls that he's feeling a little bit under the weather. Katerina acts all concerned and caring, but you know it's all lies. It's part of their manipulative character.
La verdad es que...
Voy a hacer que te traiga una botella de agua en la nevera.
Sí, pero yo me siento... Ok, si tú tienes una botella de agua, si tú quieres, entonces...
¿Pero qué tienes? ¿Qué te pasa?
No, yo me siento bien, solo esto.
It was just dangerous and I had to make my move. I had to tell him, okay, I'm not feeling too well. Here's some money and could you please leave?
¿Qué te pasa?
No.
¿Quieres que nos vamos?
Nos vamos para nuestra casa, ¿te sientes mal?
Sí, pero yo pienso que es mejor que... No sé, como otro día, bro.
Once I saw what was happening, I made my excuses and I told the girls, hey, listen, I'm not feeling too well. Perhaps that we could do this another day. Now, the reason I wanted them to leave was because I felt it was getting a little bit risky, considering the fact that I'd already confronted them about spiking my drink.
Lo juro, yo...
¿Te sientes muy mal? No podemos hablar de-
Sí, esto no, yo no siento mal, solo estoy un poco...
Está por...
Sí, cansado.
Bueno, nos vamos a
Sí.
ir. Nos vamos a ir.
Y
Vamos a poner
sí,
cosas.
sí, un poco cansado. Si tú quieres
Entendemos.
taxi o algo así,
Bueno,
Ok.
si tú quieres
El
taxi.
taxi vale 50.
So I gave them some money and they left. And if you look closely, as even when they're leaving, they take an additional 50 mil peso note from my table. So they didn't take anything, right? But the intention was to definitely drug me and to clean me out. And that's why they put something in my drink. And as the girls leave, the team approached them outside, but it didn't go as we planned.
Bien. Todo,
Solo evidencia.
reloj, documentos tuyos, todo. ¿Lo tienes todo? O sea, tu teléfono.
She's saying, do you have any of, did she take anything?
¿Cómo vamos?
So this video here is just for you guys to be really careful. I did all of this stuff so you guys can see what really happens when you don't pay attention and when you're not aware of what's happening in your environment and your surroundings, and you're, you know, taken aback by all these lovely chicas. Hopefully, you know, when they see these kind of videos out there, they will think twice about messing around with some foreigners, because there are some foreigners who are willing to expose them regarding the criminal acts that they're doing.